Hello and welcome to the Magic the Blabbering podcast. I'm your host, Nick, with Josh. And today we're going to be talking about all things Little Witches, all things Omenpaths, and all things Commander bracket ban list changes. Um,
and
so let's start it off.
some unbannings. All right, before we get started, I need you to put on your tinfoil hat because I have a theory here. Okay, the timing of
Okay.
all this. So Monday, Blake sent out this thing that said, "Hey, Spider-Man's not coming to Arena. In fact, none of the Marvel sets are coming to Arena. We're gonna go and make completely different sets that are non-IP related and put them on Arena." And I mean, the timing of that was really suspicious because the next day, today, as we're recording this, they come out with this whole Commander unbanned stuff, and I feel like they're just like trying to bury the whole debacle. Like it's just a giant mess. I feel like, and they're trying to bury that with all the because nobody's talking about that now. They're talking about Commander stuff, and then like right before the Commander stream, they released this secret, this what a little witch secret layer, and we haven't even heard about this. The other secret layer, the everybody's invited deck. We haven't
That's
heard
what I was
any.
expecting to see today.
I,
Yeah.
I was too, yeah. And so I feel like I put on my tinfoil hat, and I really feel like there's a conspiracy. Wizards is trying to, they because they could have put out like if so. There's two theories. They knew about this because they've been developing this set alongside, and they've known about this ever since they got the Marvel license. And they're like, well, let's time this announcement with let's see what's going to be some big news. Oh yeah, the Commander unbans. Let's time it with that right the day before so we can just bury it and everybody will forget about no Marvel on Arena. And so that's my thoughts on the whole thing. But
I like the theory. Really, I like the theory. I think I would have 100% believed it if they actually dropped that Commander deck today,
yeah,
because
yeah,
that would have been more attention grabbing than Little Witch, which I feel like they prepped Little Witch like forever ago, and then it's like surprise is here. I'm like, what?
yeah,
What
yeah.
is this
Well,
one doing?
they did surprise everybody with the price because it's $60 for the foil version, and it's what five? Is it
Tasty.
5 cards? It's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Four
Yeah,
cards. Four
four
cards. Four. Yeah.
four
Secret
cards.
Secret Rendezvous, Serenity, Esika's Chariot, and Realms Uncharted.
Yeah, and
Yep.
if they get it, if there's a secret card in there, it's going to be the cat tokens, right, for the chariot probably.
Oh, maybe yeah.
That's
Oh, that's
that's
so cute.
that's my guess. But like, yeah, so they jacked the price up. What, $10 because they were forty
hmm
nine ninety nine. Now they're $59.99 for foils for 4 cards. That's $15 per card plus tax plus shipping. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm hoping the price is just for this artist. I really love these arts, and I'm guessing. And sometimes when they do the Japanese crossovers, these are a little crazy. But then again, I don't know because Final Fantasy's jacked up just because we're just jacking up
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I don't know. But
yeah,
I'm just happy that none of these cards are cards that I really play a lot, and the
yeah,
Asika's Chariot art isn't really grabbing me. So I'm like, guess I'm missing out on a Little Witch. Now, I
yeah.
think that maybe they're going for 60 something for all the secret layers because wasn't Deadpool 65, but it came with 5 or 6
Mm.
cards.
Nope. Deadpool was
No, it was 50.
49.99.
So wild. So, I mean, they just that's kind of how money works. It's like it's not what the value of the thing is; it's how much you're willing to pay for it, and they're just trying to
Yeah.
see how much they're going to pay.
Exactly. Yeah, I
It,
think they're putting those feelers out to see, where the tipping point is, and I mean,
right?
it hasn't sold out yet. So,
Yeah.
this is Tuesday night. We're recording this, and it's still available. So, yeah, I hope it doesn't. I hope it sits there for a while.
Here's my tinfoil hat. So I'm
Okay.
putting my tinfoil hat on. So sometimes I think that the people at Wizards know stuff's getting kind of crazy, and the people who've been there for years try to like intentionally like slide stuff to make things better or worse. So like for instance, like you're saying, they're upping the price on secret layers. They know no one's gonna like that. So they're like, cool. Internally, they're like, this is gonna be one of our best selling secret layers of all time. Let's up the price on this one. It bombs. They're like, oh, it must be the price change when they come back for reconciliation. And they're like, oh, yeah, it must be that because, the people who are pushing the numbers over there just like have no idea. There's just some
Yeah.
guy in sales who's like, push it up, push it up. And they're just like, yeah, man. And the guy doesn't play Magic, doesn't know a damn thing. He's like, we got to make more. And then the guy who's there, like, this freaking guy. And just in my time working in with salespeople and stuff, that happens. So, so
I like that theory. So you think we have an inside man that's kind of helping us out a little bit at Wizards?
Yeah, well, if you think
Just
about it, every once in a while they throw us a bone. It's not like they
yeah.
always try to bone us. We definitely go in waves. It's like a tidal wave of like villainy, 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 gift, villainy, villainy, gift.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be in one of our highest villain arcs because they can't seem to take an L, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's my hope. I'm just conspiracy. I'm not saying like that's how it goes. I'm just saying I hope because I would like to still get
Yeah.
cardboard for reasonable price.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
yeah,
yeah. So
let's talk about this. So this Spider-Man stuff or this Marvel stuff, because it's going to be all Marvel.
yeah,
So yeah, they came out with an article on Monday this week that said that none of your
through the
Marvel,
Omenpaths and digital universes beyond updates.
yeah,
Yeah.
so none of your Marvel cards are going to be on any digital platform. That includes Magic Online and Arena, and I don't know if we ever get this Commander video game that's coming out. So, anyways, it's not going to be Marvel on there. It's going to be legally distinct Spider-Man or Iron Man or whatever. So on Arena and Magic Online. And so apparently, like, I don't know if they didn't read their licensing deal when they set this up, or they were just like, we'll make it work, with the not having it on Arena and Magic Online. But
Well, Marvel
yes,
already has a digital TCG, and they probably were like, we don't
yeah,
want to overlap there.
yeah,
Also, I can't decide if this is a win or a lose for us as Magic players. Win that we get more Magic IP stuff, but lose because like, is this just going to be like Arachnid Man and like Steel Man? Like what, like just slide to the side. Like this
yeah.
is our Magic 616 universe. Like what? I don't know.
Doc
I'm worried
Doc
about that.
Doc Leviathan and
Yeah, what?
the Green Goblin, but not that one.
Yeah, yeah, the other Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
it's
I
really
hope they make it cool, but
it's really confusing to me that they would go to these lengths, but yeah. So we'll see. So like they do redemption on Magic Online, right? So
yeah,
if you complete a full set of cards online, you can like turn that in. You get a ticket to redeem for a full set of cards. They'll send you an actual physical box of a full set of cards. So if you redeem the Spider-Man set on Magic Online, what are they going to send you? Are they going to send you Spider-Man, or are they going to send you the legally distinct Spider-Man set? What do you think? They're not printing these
you.
actual cards, are they?
I was thinking the Omen Pass would apply to Magic Online as well, so you're not getting Spider-Man on there, but
Right. Yeah.
it's
That's
just
what I'm
Marvel.
saying.
Yeah, so yeah, you got to be getting. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. So what do they send
Maybe
you?
they're just gonna say you're not redeeming these. That's
Yeah,
something they could easily do too.
they do make some sets non-redeemable. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's a giant mess, is what it is.
Hey, artists get a win here because they have to basically double their artist quotes for these because now you're gonna have
Yeah.
new arts for every card. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is kind of like a most likely just a win for me as a Magic player. Like in the sense, like unless I'm like super wanting to play my character on Magic Arena, so like if I'm a real big fan of this IP, I can't play with
Yeah.
it for Marvel. But like as a Magic player who like likes the original IP, I think this is a win because I get more alternative in-universe arts, maybe, assuming they get physical printings ever. And I assume that will be an option for them to be physically reprinted. So does that mean Spider-Man arts in the first print wave will be the only time you get the Spider-Man IP art?
Oh, you think
So like for instance,
they'll release the set
yeah.
under the legally distinct Spider-Man?
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
maybe not just release the set. They'll just anytime they reprint a card. So like, let's say Venom,
Oh yeah, for
from
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now he'll be like poison in Magic or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he'll that card will only get printed as poison from then on. So it'll kind of almost reserve list those sets. It'll be even more valuable because it's the only time you can get access to those cards in those IP.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They haven't said that, but I don't know if we've ever actually seen a reprint of a. I mean, technically, we haven't done that. All the universes within were all the reprints of all the universe beyond stuff. So maybe
Yeah,
that's where we're headed.
this is the reverse of that.
Yes. So
So,
interesting.
but like, so I mean, we're not going to get any story of this. Do you like? We're not going to get like this is going to be its own set. Like, is it going to be take place on in Webville, like a suburb of Ravnica, and there's like kilometers Morales or it's like we're not going to get
Kilometers per hour.
we're not going to get like we're not going to get like a full set like a full story about this, right? They're just going to be, oh hey, here's these different cards that go with what should be this set over here. Like
I mean,
I don't know.
I kind of hope they just are a smattering of different arts and different ideas
Yeah.
because then they don't have to stick out as weirdly. Like I don't think we necessarily want our Marvel plane. Like
Yeah.
literally, I don't think we
Yeah.
want that. But I don't know. I
But
mean,
then it's just like generic, BS.
if they mix it up, actually, what would be really cool is if they tried to paint them with different things from the multiverse. So you're like, like Tony Stark's like a like seems like a guy who would be either in the Izzet League or he'd be
Hmm.
on like Avishkar. So like they could flavor him with characters, kind of like they did with the like Rick is like Raymond
Yeah.
from Innistrad. If they do it like that, I think it'd be cool. As long as you don't, do the Chun Li thing where they're like, "Hey, I have kick counters," and then the card is like Master of Blades. I'm like, why the heck does this card get kick counters, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's swords. Like, don't do that. But like, or like Friends Forever on some of those like Innistrad alternate arts seemed a little goofy because
Yeah.
they all looked like. I mean, it's like Friends Forever if you were playing D&D campaign because your character's all grizzled, but it seems like a little awkward. But I'm not against it. I'm like of the news. If this was going to be a big fiasco, eh,
I'm
pretty eh.
I'm I'm not necessarily against it. It just is very confusing to like newer players is my thing. Like I've always been
Yeah,
against having non-standard cards in packs. You know, like packs that come out for sets should have that are standard legal that are new sets, not like your Modern Horizons or whatever, but packs that are getting released into standard should only have standard cards in there. So when people open them up, they can play standard. And like I
yeah,
felt like they were moving that, kind of moving that way because they got rid of the list and replaced with special guests. So special guests are very, super rare, and so I felt like they were trying to like actually save standard. And now I feel like it's gone back where we're confusing newer players. Like me and you, we're gonna understand. Like most people probably listening to this podcast are gonna understand. Hey, Spider-Man's here, but not over here. But like you get some newer players that are coming in for Spider-Man, they're going like, why can't I
yeah,
play with Spider-Man on Arena? What's this card here? It's just confusing to me. I'm not necessarily against it
yeah,
because like this is people. A lot of people are saying like, oh well, this is what you wanted. You wanted not Universes Beyond. Well, I mean, technically yes. Like, but no,
but at what cost?
exactly.
With
So
great power comes great responsibility.
yeah. So yeah, my biggest gripe about this is it seems very confusing. And then like, are we going to be paying the price for them having to develop a whole second set? Like, are we going to be paying for that with the paper card when you buy the paper card? Like, is that
Mm,
price going to be increased? I mean, we've already seen it with Final Fantasy. They're passing on that licensing. Are they going to pass this extra expense because they've had to R&D? They've had to hire new artists. They've had to come up with people if we're getting a story with this to come up with some sort of story. I assume
mhm.
like it's called Through the Omenpaths or whatever. I assume it's just going to be like, oh well, these people exist on this plane, and they come together through these omen paths, or I don't know. But it
Yeah, I mean
just
that kind of makes more sense. That kind of speaks to the idea of it being a smattering of a bunch of characters.
yeah.
So kind of
Um,
like what was that set Aftermath? Kind of like that.
yeah. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
messy. It's just messy to me. I'm not necessarily against it, but it seems messy and confusing.
Well, I think in
And
the modern era, like if I were to go back in time, because I actually encountered when I started playing, I remember playing in a standard tournament, and I bought my Scourge, a little Goblin deck, and then it was like $10 or something. Man, I
yeah,
remember. And then I had that, and then like somebody gave me a shoebox of cards. There was a bunch of junk, but there were like some lightning bolts in it. So like they're like, oh yeah, lightning bolt's good. Put that in your deck. I'm like, okay, And then I go sit down at the tournament, and the first guy I played against, I'm like, yeah, like lightning. I had like a wall of fire. I played like wall of fire or something because I threw that in my deck, which is not good. It was not in standard. It's like that's not in standard. And the store owner's like, I'm like 13 or 12 or something.
yeah,
He's like, it's wall of fire. Just like it's not good. Like why are you complaining? He's like, well,
yeah,
lightning bolt's good. Well, he was right there. But
yeah,
I just remember having to go through that then. But I think the thing I wanted to bring up is today. Since they're kind of trying, or at least I think they're starting to transition away. Like you said, they're trying to get better about this with like things like whatever the core set we just had is. I forgot the name
foundations,
suddenly.
foundations.
Yeah, foundations. Like foundations, they're trying to get more into that spirit of like, all right, here's how you intro and stuff. But for last few years, I feel like people are getting in through Commander, which is
Yeah,
like got to be the highest tier complexity. So, and it does
yeah,
allow you to play any cards for the most part. So, I think we're
yeah.
just in a transitional phase, and this is like again a step backwards, but maybe it's okay.
On the flip side of that, I think people are learning how to play Magic on Arena. Like, if
Yeah,
I've ran into a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, how do I tell my friend how to play?" I'm like, set them up on Arena because that's the
yeah,
best. I think it's the best like gateway into Magic because it kind of like does the hard stuff for you, but it lets you learn the rules and some of the strategies, before you transition to paper. At least it like gives you the basic rules, like hey, you start at 20 life and you turn your stuff
yeah,
sideways to attack and all that stuff. It gives you the basics. So like that's what I turn people to. for beginners. And if they're seeing cards that they've never seen before that are supposed to be standard legal, they're like, well, where do I get these cards? I want to play with these cards. And you're like, oh well, this one has Spider-Man on it or whatever,
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
that's
funnily enough, there used to be fake cards in the introductory experience too. I'm sure there are still, so that's kind of funny too. But just as a quick aside, they have like custom cards only for anyway. I don't know. I think I understand your point of view. I feel like I'm too detached from what that looks like, and hopefully I do agree they're trying to bury it. It's trying to be like not important, but there's a lot to clamp on there. And from my point of view, as a just being a regular consumer, it's a W. That's all I'm thinking. It's a W.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more cool things for me. And, I'm gonna get my in-universe things eventually. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like I said, I don't necessarily hate it. It's just it feels messy and confusing to me. Like I'm not mad that it's happening.
yeah.
But it's like I said, it's messy and confusing. That's all. That's the
Yeah,
only way
and we like consistent, smooth things from our company. And honestly, we've been conditioned from that for years, and it's been I don't know, last 10 years now. It's just been a roller coaster.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
like
well,
Magic's been like, woo.
and then with the introduction of Universes Beyond, it's just gone crazy. So
Yeah, like it used to be like 3 sets a year, then you got your supplemental product, then you got your commander
yeah,
decks.
yeah,
It was pretty consistent. Now it's like commander decks with every set. This new
yeah,
every quarter has a thing, and then they're scaling it back. So only thing that I've been conditioned to in the last 10 years of Magic, maybe the last 5 at least, expect them to do more wild nonsense.
Expect the unexpected. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So
So
I mean, we have secret layers, then we have the second secret. What's the other secret layer? Not secret layer. It's the
Chaos Vault. Yeah, Chaos Vault.
Chaos Vault. I don't even
Yeah.
know sometimes.
Now we've got brackets and Commander and
Yeah, just everything gets more complicated. We go forward in time, the layers in the croissant just get thicker. It's just peel back the onion. But yeah, I was super hyped to talk about some brackets today, being a
Yeah.
commander guy. What did you see when you heard these announcements, Josh?
I mean, I saw Coalition victory unbanned. I kind of expected that. They, kind of hinted at that. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I mean, it's really a 2-card, 3-card combo now, really.
Kinda,
So,
kinda. It's like a
but
1 or 2 card combo.
yeah, but I mean, we've got Thassa's Oracle, so
Yeah. Well, no, that's been relegated to the danger zone of
well,
the thing,
I,
right?
I believe Coalition victory is on the Game Changers as well.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think these cards they unbanned. They all put
they're all game changers
they
now.
put them
Yeah,
all on the Game Changers list. Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, I'm not mad about anything they announced today. So I know a lot of people were expecting Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus to come back, Dockside to come back.
Wet. I was sweating. I was
Yeah.
sweating. I was sweating.
So
I was like, please, for the love of God.
so I watched the live stream today with Gavin, and he pretty much said Mana Crypt's never coming back, Dockside's never coming back. Jewel Lotus, we'll see. He said Jewel Lotus is really.
Ooh.
He said Jewel Lotus is really the only one of the 3 that they would probably consider bringing back, which it's kind of expected. It's a commander card. He didn't make it sound like it was going to be anytime in the near future. In fact, he said there's not going to be any more bannings or unbannings for the rest of the year. So next year will be the first time we see a change, unless he called it the Nadu contingency.
Nadu
Yeah, the Nadu contingency. So unless there's a very oppressive card or even one of these cards that they just unbanned, if it becomes a huge problem, then they could ban something. But yeah, he said nothing this year as far as bannings and unbannings, and they really don't want to move more stuff right now to the Game Changers list either.
Yeah, they did a big move.
Yeah, they kind of want to settle where they're at right now and kind of ride this out for the rest of the year and see, and which I think is smart actually.
Yeah.
I think it's smart. Like I said last year when this first got announced, I said I hope they don't do anything from here till the end of the year, and then put together a team in that meantime, and then come with a plan. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm happy with how they've handled everything so far. So yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily excited, but I'm not mad or about anything they did. So,
well, I've got some extreme.
I
Maybe not extreme. I got some opinions.
Yeah.
So I feel like Commander's been in the Wild West for a long time, and like every once in a while, somebody would get shot in the yard for being too powerful occasionally, and it was kind of random. Like I feel like shot Iona in the face while you let Painter Servant creep out the back door. You know, it's like what happened there. Um, but yeah, it's just I guess initially what I expected from this, they kept talking about unbans, unbans, unbans. And I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, we have so many Magic cards printed right now. Who is playing Commander and feeling like there's so little space that I need these like 30 cards, some of them to be off the list? I'm like, who's doing it? Because it's like you shouldn't be worried about them that much, really. Like the unbanned patrol, I'm like, some of these cards are like ancient. So it's not new people doing it, it's enfranchised players, and it's like
Yeah.
they're the chronically online. Like, I mean, I guess we are too, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm like, you've gone to the point of you're playing Commander so hard, you are trying to like push the boundaries of power on certain things. And to me, I'm just like, this is not where the attention needs to go. It needs to go, what is legal? What is causing problems in games? So when they led with, we're doing unbannings, I'm just sitting here like, literally having like PTSD thinking about Primeval Titan and Emrakul and other monsters coming back to haunt Sylvan Primordial, like coming back. And reading through this article, him even mentioning those cards in favorable lights or Jewel Lotus, like just like I'm like, oh, bro, like how can we do something good and bad? So the thing I was happy about today was actually getting a bunch of game changers added to the game changer list, elevating these cards. I'm happy they brought these cards back onto the game changers list. Brackets not being changed are good, so we can kind of adapt and understand them. Because I want to play in bracket too, and more as a format. And I know that's not their intent, but I feel like more as a format, sub-format, being like this is what bracket 2 means. These cards are not involved. I like it better that way. The game changers at level 3 make it a little bit better, but still, I'm going to encounter some nasty cards I don't really want to play with. You know, if I'm in bracket 3, I'm still going to play against Humility Guy, and it's like this guy ain't getting it, dog. So, but speaking of that, I did want to go through a couple of the cards. So
Sure.
I'm some of my favorite cards that are on the ban list. Now, these cards that I enjoy playing with, but I understand the context and why they're not fun to play against, are Gifts Ungiven and Grizzlebrand. So when they unbanned Gifts Ungiven, I was kind of surprised because it's a very powerful tutor card. But it's on the Game Changers list, so it actually won't be making its way back into any of my decks
Yeah.
actively. Card I like to play with. I played with it when I started playing Magic. But you know, I'm here to do like some nostalgia, but really it's not for things like that, weirdly enough. Like I'm not trying to optimize my gameplay through old cards I optimized with. I'm more interested in doing like fun new things.
Yeah.
Some of my old cards can be a part of it. Gifts Ungiven might have been sitting in my box for a while, but it's not like, you know, actually I think about building that standard deck and playing that standard deck against people, but not really playing it in my commander deck. Um, so Gifts is the most powerful and the most notable card. I think it's going to be a huge in every deck card probably. That's blue.
Yeah.
If you're like very staple minded, because it's just great. Love the card. Love to. I mean, I would love to play with it, but I don't want to play against the other game changers, so I'd rather just not. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents. That's the real unban that's like crazy, and honestly, it will probably be the most small note. If you're a bad actor, we're gonna know already. If you're not a
Yeah.
bad actor, it's probably gonna be fine.
Yeah, and
And
that's
then Sway the
something,
Star.
that's something he said in the article too. Like, just because your deck falls into category 2 and it doesn't have any game changers, blah blah blah, but if it's a very powerful deck and has some very strong synergies in it, then and you come to the table and say it's a 2 just because Moxfield tells you it's a 2, then you're an a-hole. So not he didn't say
Well, and
that,
that
but
that's kind of the rub I have with the brackets actually, because I would appreciate them be more being like that, and I don't want that to mean that I get pushed up into another bracket. I just think that's still just a mismatch of player thing.
yeah,
Like,
and
so
like
what I mean to say, I don't feel like I should be punished and have to play with cards that I don't like because I'm playing a little bit at a higher power level than you within this bracket. But I feel like we can still agree and like have a game. It's like, okay, we are not playing these cards.
yeah,
We play and we have that same game that we used to have with Commander. It's like we're just not matching up, and then we can go. That's fine. We can switch decks. But I don't want to be like you're a villain. You're like subverting the idea, you know, because I think once you get into that nuance, it's kind of like it's like, come on, man, we're basically going back to square one, you know,
yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
I mean, the crux of this whole thing is to encourage those conversations before you play, and it just kind of gives
Yeah,
people a starting point of you know their deck power level.
yeah, and you know, I think it's helping. I think it's helping. I like that he said that the it was like everyone said like 87% people at the MagicCon said that it was a positive influence. I really do think we're going the right direction. I just want to keep making good steps, and I
Yeah,
didn't see any slide backs really today, in any of these bannings and these unbannings or these game changerifying cards. And you know, I don't think we need to go into the minutia all of them. I think most of them are pretty much mid. If you want to talk about all of the unbans, we can. Um, Sway the Stars, one of my friends was like, "You gonna put that in your Joyra deck?" Because I have a Joyra budget deck, and I'm like, "No, Like what? I'm like, I already could have played Obliterate. Like what do you want? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't doing that already. Why would I put in other Obliterate? You know,
Yeah.
like
Or what's the other World Fire is basically the same.
yeah, I do the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm like, well, do I run World Fire? So no, I'm not gonna add
Yeah.
Sway the Stars.
Yeah,
Cool
it's
that it's an
like
option, I guess.
right, yeah, it's like I don't want to play any of those effects. No,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So it's like no big deal. I also don't think the games where that's gonna end the game or do something or like a problem that's gonna be like a kind of wild game. I understand like you got to shuffle, but I always find that funny when they're like, I have to shuffle my cards. Like, oh no, I have big hands, so maybe I don't understand the troubles. Um, the interesting one to me was also braids, because back in the day, I kind of understood why you would ban braids because
yeah.
permanents get into play. When you're not green, it was like, oh my god, I'm dead. But now, if you play a game of Commander nowadays, I'm sure at least two of your three opponents are going to be pooping out so many tokens and permanents into play. You're going to be like,
Yeah.
your braids upkeep, they're going to be like, one of my five extra lands, I guess, like my five
Yeah.
tokens. So and you also have Turgid already, so I'm just like, this is just Turgid's girlfriend, I don't know,
Yeah.
like I don't see anything wrong with braids. Like, if you're gonna lose 1 in 20 games to that deck because they have the net draw where they're like Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal, or something, okay,
Yeah.
like you did it, buddy. And no one had the swords, no one had a 1 mana kill thing, so they got through everything. Okay, that happens sometimes. I mean, and then you're gonna beat that guy like the other 20 games, so you might
Right.
as well just not worry about it. So I'm happy with that one. Iconic card. Coalition Victory, honestly, I was the most against, mostly because it's just like the game's over. Like it's
Yeah.
a,
If this
and it's
resolves,
like
yeah, yeah,
I just don't like games where it's like the person who did the least of anything just won the game. Like,
yeah,
what did they do this game? I put lands into play and I played one card and I won. And this one's very much like I played my commander, I played some lands, I happened to play my commander the turn after a sweeper. Turn went around, people redeployed, Coalition Victory, I win.
yeah. I mean, and
Okay.
this, I like this card seems easier to do now more than ever because you've got
Ever before.
the
Triomes.
you've got the triomes, you've got the ley line, you've got the green
Oh
overlord
yeah, the ley line.
that you got the green overlord that makes the land that's all basic land types.
Yep.
And I mean, you put this in a 5 color commander deck, and I mean, it seems so easy to do right now. But I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm probably.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, I don't play a lot of 5 color decks, and I probably wouldn't play this card either, just because it's I don't know, not one of those ways that I want to win. Maybe I'll redo that 20 ways to win secret lair deck and throw coalition
yeah.
victory in it now. I don't know.
Then the deck will actually win.
Yeah, right.
Like all these other ways, nah, 21. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a hater of the card. It just seems like meh. Because the commander I used to be used to is these slugfests, and nowadays they're not really slugfests. So now having another way to ensure it's never a slugfest just is like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not like the maddest. Like, I don't know why there's been like a slow like rise in a lot of content creators just like trying to push unbans, push stuff like this, push this. It was always Coalition Victory was the first card. They're like, oh my god, this can come off the list. And really, I'm looking at these once they unbanned, and I'm like, it was probably Sway the Stars or Braids, but no one was talking about those.
Yeah.
Like when I look at these five, I'm like, yeah, Sway the Stars and Braids I could see coming off way before this. And then Panoptic Mirror, because of the rules with the time, it's funny because now I'm like, this card's funny because it's in a game changer, so you can't put it in everything. But I feel like it belongs in like even lower parts of the brackets because like the fun stuff you can do with it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's weirdly like if it's not a game, if it's not banned, it should be like unlimited play, but just because you can only do the thing that sucks with it in the other. So that one's funny to me because I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
just unban it completely then. Because
Yeah.
if people adopt the system, then this card has no problems. And even its problems actually aren't that bad nowadays because I mean you got to pay for it, you got to pay 10, you got to untap, it's an artifact.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's me on the unbans. I think honestly, good as it could get. I mean, I have the option to play with gifts if I want to have a more powerful deck. That's cool. Probably gonna get my butt kicked a little harder, like 1% harder by somebody who's trying to beat my butt anyway. So
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, that's my opinions on those. Do you want to go over some of the changes to the game changers list?
Sure. Yeah. Let's run down that real quick.
Okay. All right, Teferi's Protection. Now this one was getting some spice in some of my groups. So some people view this card as just I'm saving myself, I'm protecting myself, and yes, the card does that. But it also does a few other things that you might not be thinking about. It kind of is a little like we want to stop people from winning, right? But usually it feels good in a commander game when you stop somebody from winning and everybody lives. this is one of the like everyone else can die, then I can kind of take over from here.
Yeah.
Is kind of the effect. Also, it just tapping you, like protecting you from everybody. So you get out of jail on the most important turn, and then you're out of jail just for free on everybody else's turn. So it's just miles ahead of every other protection spell, like leaps and bounds. And you can play proactively when you play a sorcery that like destroys the world, and then you protect yourself.
Yeah.
And you can also cement a board. You're like, oh, my board state's really good. Everyone's tapped out. Here's my awesome board state. As long as I untap, I win. Teferi's Protection, go. So, and I've seen those plays several times.
Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely understand people wanting some more protection, but I think protection's gotten pretty good, and making people not. This is kind of like almost leaning into that, like, let's not have all auto includes in our deck. Like, I don't see a good reason why you wouldn't play Teferi's Protection in most decks. So I'm like, okay, just make it less common. I'm down for that. Not every game will be like, who had their T-Pro, who didn't.
Right. Yeah.
It'll be like, I had to spend my Game Changer slot on something real. And that's why this is, I think, even better to be in the Game Changer slot, because it's like I spent that slot
Yeah.
on a defensive card, which is good. So would you have any thoughts on T-Pro? That was one of the most controversial ones that I
Yeah,
spoke about.
I think that is one of the most controversial ones. Yeah, I've seen a lot of salt around that card for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just does it all. It's like, I don't think they could have made a better protection spell. I mean, I'm sure we'll see one day, but
Yeah.
happy to see it just kind of gets. This isn't a card like I'm trying to avoid. Like when I was talking about being in like bracket 2, this isn't one that I was like, oh, I need to get out of my games like immediately. It just kind of was annoying.
Yeah.
But seeing it less often if I am playing at bracket 3 sounds nice. Now, one, they caught the villain. They just need to move it one more over beyond the Game Changers and ban the card. Humility, awful. Oh, let's play Commander. Let's play Never Commander. And now everyone's gonna be like, you can blow it up, you can blow it up. Black only just got disenchant. And somebody who plays blue, black, red, and blue, black plenty of the time, that thing gets into play. Ugh. Like, awful. And it's usually the people who are playing are backing it up with counter spells. It ain't like just play a naturalize. It's like you need the Croissant grip, man. You need the I never played a game where that card's fun.
I honestly have never played against that card.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I played against that card for a long time. We had some locals in our play group who would just, they're like, you can't do anything. Your creature decks are all screwed. Humility. Yeah. And I play against them on Magic Online every once in a while. I'm like, don't pair me again. I don't want to play against this crap.
They play that with Eleshnorn?
They play it with Dorokai, the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
The guy who's like an 8/8 that poops out 1/1s. So it's like, oh, I have guys who are just as good as your guys. I'm drawing all these cards. And I think you might even be able to animate Shortguy, make it an 8/8 in that context. But yeah, it's miserable. Your ETBs don't work. Your commander doesn't do anything. Sure, if you can disenchant it, it's not a problem. But so are most things. Enchantments are still, after Planeswalkers, maybe still before Planeswalkers, the most hard permanent type to get rid of. So it's just like, oh, here's my mono red commander. It does nothing.
and I
have my one Chaos Warp counterspell. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
card.
I've honestly never played against that card, so I really have no opinions on it. So
yeah, well, you're a fortunate soul. The draw hate cards, so Narset, Orcish Bowmasters, and Notion Thief. Those are sweet because we have a wheels problem, and whenever those things meet, like with Leovold, they were always a nightmare. So I'm happy to see them get moved up. Except for Notion Thief, I feel like you have to be in blue-black, which is already kind of a big problem. It's 4 mana. I don't know. I also like playing with Notion Thief, so this might be my bias coming out. I definitely get sick and tired of people playing wheels, and I don't know, whenever I'm just like, you know what? Don't play that Wheel of Fortune, because they all discard their hands, and I'm not playing the Wheel of Fortune, mind you. I've just caught people playing Wheel of Fortune with that card in my hand. I'm like, sweet. You all discard your hand, I'll draw 21 or 28 or whatever. I like it as a punisher, but I understand with the context of like I'm playing the bad card, that becomes no fun. So love to see that change. Orcish Bowmasters is just kind of crazy. Have you played against any of these cards, Josh?
I've played against Notion Thief a handful of times. I've not played against Orcish Bowmasters, no.
Okay, or Narset?
Yeah, I played against Narset. It's annoying, but
it's usually kind of chill.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of decks that like draw extra cards, a lot. Okay. So.
Yeah, it was never that. It's just these cards are really get crazy when you're like Wheel of Fortune of some kind, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Intuition's next on the list. This one, it is a busted card, but like it's not as busted as an 60 card. It's a reserve list card, so I'm kind of a proponent of as many reserve list cards getting into the hard to play with. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Buried Alive, which is already like a staple in a lot of black decks. It's just like a better buried alive a lot of the time. So I can see it. I used to play with it back in the day. I don't play with reserveless cards anymore because it's just like it doesn't feel right that I'm playing with cards people don't own.
Yeah.
So it's a sweet card. I think it makes sense. It's so rare. People don't even know it exists, so it's kind of like most people don't know it exists, so it really shouldn't matter to too many. The people who do know it exists very well, you probably know why it needs to go over there. If you're sitting here pretending like, okay, buddy, you're the same guy who's like, bring demonic tutor back. Uh, all the tutors. Consecrated Sphinx. Um, yeah, this card's been a problem since day one.
Yeah, it was a problem
Uh,
in standard.
it was a problem in standard. Problem since day one. It's just your Mull Drifter on the first draw, and then like occasionally somebody has something that's already forcing them to draw a card, so you're up 4, then
Yeah.
you're up 6. And when two of them meet, it's like a nightmare. Like, how about we draw our decks? Sweet. Obviously, the dumbest party loses out on that every time. So happy to see it. Happy to see it. I don't think it's like the most busted card in Modern Commander because there's so much like free removal, but like
Yeah.
still not good. Necropotence, holy moly, the card they missed the first time. Now they left Necro Dominance for some reason, but happy to see Necro get the axe. Not the axe, but the shift.
What do we
It
call
definitely
that?
needs to be
What do we call this?
the shift.
It needs to be like a
The-
different zone that these game changes are in. Not banned.
Okay,
but
so you're on the ban hammer. You're in the like they call them game. It's such a goofy name. This should be
it
game
is,
changer.
yeah.
We need to rename them.
We do, yeah.
Go to like parole. I don't know what is limbo. I don't know what you call it.
Community service.
Okay, so we need it. So what's an item that you have that you can use every day, and then an item that like you can use once in a while, and then an item that's illegal. It's something in those three.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like a butter knife, and there's like a knife you got to keep out of the way of your kids, and then like you're not allowed to have a samurai sword or something in Japan or something like I don't know something like that.
Nick,
I don't know.
you don't have any kids, so I'm going to forgive you on this, but you still have to keep your butter knives away from your kids.
Oh sure, yeah. I don't have any kids. Yeah. True. I was trying to think. Anyway, falls apart. Necropotence, insanely powerful, 40 life, draw a new hand. Many games you're like trying to get up ahead on the villain who's like who's just playing 2 ahead of everyone else in the meta, and then they're just like reload, and you're like, oh, we're never catching up now because you can't stop it. As long as it resolves, it's like draw a new hand. It's low mana cost, so they can defend it. It's just a great card, very powerful card. Not a lot of drawback. Kind of makes sense.
And they've printed like I don't know how many versions of this, slightly worse versions over the years.
And they're all good.
They are.
Yep, and you have Necro Dominance, so you can try that one. It has a little bit more drawback, thankfully. So maybe that is softer. I haven't played against Necro Dominance a lot, but it also seems like the same, smells same, looks same, is the same.
Yeah.
So deflecting SWAT, that one's a little hurts my heart a little bit. Not because I do think the card's busted, but like for like mono red and like just solo color commanders and light color commanders, I think like they really do need that support.
Yeah.
But there's no rules on this card. Like this whole cycle would be sweet if they said like has to be with a monocolor commander or something. Like then I wouldn't mind deflecting SWAT. If you're like, hey, red needs a tool to do the counter war with because it sucks so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, give me this. So now I'm down to just what is the bolt bend in some of those. So in some decks, which is fine.
Wild Ricochet.
Wild Ricochet.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of those fun ones. So just a lower investment. One or if I'm going to be playing bracket 3, I have to at least assign a cost to this card. Otherwise, it's like, why wouldn't I just play it all the time?
Yeah.
So kind of into that. And then they went for cleanup crew. They fixed some of the tutor problem. They even got gamble, which I was surprised because that one actually has some card disadvantage built in, even though that's
exactly, yeah.
But happy to see that. Worldly tutor, happy to see it. Crop rotation was subtle, but it's very important, and it's because of the ancient tomb, and other lands like Glacial Chasm and Field of the Dead, which also got addressed. But crop rotation will just keep getting better. I think it's actually just better now. If you think about it, even if you just play like Temple of the False God, it's going to get you net positive mana at some point in the game. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't you? And then it can get the utility lands just keep getting better and better and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1 mana tutor, I mean, I got no arguments for why these need to be around unless you're just trying to string together some more goofy combo. But like, work hard for your combos. It's okay.
Yeah. And you mentioned Field of the Dead. They put that on the list too, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. When my roommate's over here trying to play monocolor decks with like weird lands just so he can hit his field, you got to know something's wrong when you're over here like, Mono white. Here's my. I'm like, why are you playing that garbage land? Oh, I gotta set up for Field of the Dead. I'm like, oh my god.
Jeez.
Like, it's
Uh,
awful. Seedborn Muse. If you've ever played against Seedborn Muse, I think you know why this card
yeah.
is kind of nuts. Um,
It's funny
kind of
because they mentioned that they just put that in one of the commander decks for Dragonstorm.
yeah, it is in one. Well, it's a weird one to me just for the fact that like I don't want to say this. I know this card is super powerful
Yeah.
and it needs a little help to do it, so it's not like Prophet of Crew fix. But like this just must be I've been abused by this for so long. I'm just kind of used to it. Just like I'm just used to it. Like I'm just like it's off Seedborn Muse time. We're dead. And it's not always. I guess it's because I've survived enough Seedborn Muses. Like not
Yeah.
everyone uses it like a monster. Um, but that doesn't mean the card's not a monster, and it doesn't like necessarily do anything by itself. Like it's just like I cost no mana, but having it have a cost, having it like be a piece of your deck's cost in the higher brackets is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's fine. Definitely anti-homogeny. The Josh Lee Wise of the world. I remember watching when I watched Command Zone a lot. They're just like every deck instant speed untap. I have 30 bazillion mana I'm playing on your turn. Like okay, stop doing that. Whoever you are, just don't do that all the time. Um, Natural Order. Now this is one I'm glad to see, but the things that it used to abuse me with, A, I haven't seen the card in years, but B, I used to get abused by like an early commander was like, sack my thing, Terrastodon, you out of the game, or Terrastodon, 3 other people. I'm sure this card could have been worse. We just haven't had a payoff that's made it worth it, I guess, or we haven't been playing against a lot, but busted card for all intents and purposes. Food Chain, busted card, only for combo, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a combo piece. That's it.
I get out of here. Sick of it. It comes with the command zone period, which is problematic. So just get out of here. Aura shards. Now, I had some rejoicing from some of my chats for this card. I used to play this card. It is like no one's allowed artifacts or enchantments the whole rest of the game. It's pretty unfun. It doesn't come up a lot, and it's an enchantment, so it's hard to kill itself. Um, Not what I necessarily expected, but the games where it comes out, it's like, wow, you really know.
Yeah, I didn't expect this. I actually do play this card. My son has it in his Jetmir deck, and
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't think it was that crazy, but maybe the rest of the deck isn't that crazy, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
yeah. And maybe I don't know. It's like I think if you put any effort into using it like aggressively, I
Yeah,
think is when it gets crazy. Like if you just like play an Adu to turn, it's like who cares? Like that's fine. I think it's when you like because I used to play it like Rith the Awakener. So you just like play it, hit somebody, make like 10 plus tokens. You're like Bane of Progress every turn for the rest of the game. So if you're on the artifact or enchantment deck,
yeah,
you're done. If you're on like a non-green deck, your mana base is ruined. You're like, here went all my mana rocks. So I understand the argument for this one.
yeah,
It was definitely not expected though. Still kind of. It's also another one like Notion Thief where I'm like it's 2 colors, so I feel like that's a restriction.
yeah,
Like that's a real restriction in Commander where it's like you have to be in this 2 color pair, but I don't know. It's not what I'm mad about. I'm not. I don't think I'm running it in anything right now. And even if I were, I'd be like, oh, okay, I understand why this is not fun.
yeah,
Then finally, Field of the Dead. Again, just like Humility, all the way over there. Just get out. Go away. Mostly
See,
because the games I've experienced with it, the games just end because somebody has this going.
I
It's like,
I honestly have never played against this card in Commander, so
oh,
we run in two very different Commander groups.
oh. Well, so one of my buddies, he just goes by the. You know how people say stuff's a staple?
Yeah.
He sees a card, it looks like a staple. He literally treats it as such. So it's in every deck. So Field of the Dead is in every deck. And my goodness, the amount of value you get out of always having a chump blocker, always having an attacker, having something when the dust settles. Like you just
Yeah.
Grave Titan for 0 mana is good,
Yeah.
but it seems super underwhelming. It's like benign,
Yeah,
and then also there's
I mean it was banned in standard at one point.
yeah
So
yeah because Golos
yeah, I'm not saying it's not a good card. It's just like I've never seen people go on the like Field of the Dead path. Like it's not
yeah
like that's not a strategy I've seen. So
yeah. I know you can do like the scape shift thing with it, and I know you can do like there's some like land based decks that can really abuse it,
yeah,
like the landfall decks. But just playing against it in regular games with like this is just a thing I run in my deck as a bonus. It's just so much passive value. You wouldn't imagine like a 2/2 every turn or a couple, especially when it's also exacerbated because it's like not a 2/2, it's like a 4/4 every
Yeah.
turn, but it's just like there's just a bunch of dudes in play all the time. I can
Yeah.
never like take a planeswalker. I can never not take damage.
I think the only
It's
deck
just
that I personally have it in is Yarok.
oh yeah, because it doubles
But
it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, and I don't think I think them putting it in game changers is okay. Like it'll definitely stop the ubiquity, right? Like I'm not gonna put it in every deck probably now because it's not
yeah,
free.
yeah. And I think that's the
Um,
point. The point of all these game changers is, you've got so many that you are supposed to be putting in a deck, and is Field of the Dead really
yeah,
worth it now? So
yeah, it has a cost. So yeah, maybe this is the right. Maybe I'm wrong. It shouldn't be banned. But I do like the game changers of the Valve. It's like I'm not gonna see it every game. I don't have to put up with it all the time,
yeah,
and I like that. I like more of my games having variety. And then Mishra's Workshop. This is a card I only see on Magic Online, and occasionally somebody practices it in paper. And I'm like, what are you freaking doing? And it only matters when they play it on turn one, and they're like, "Here's a rock, here's a rock." I'm like, you're no." And it's like, nope, this is some bull, some crap. Happy to see it. Also, don't know why it's a game changer. That card just no one owns it. It's like $500 or something. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm sure you've never even seen it, Josh. But I'm like, I see it on Magic Online plenty, and
no,
then I see it on
I've never
paper
seen it.
every once in a blue
I've
moon.
never seen it played. No.
Yeah. It's randomly there. It's just why are you here? You do stuff like the alpha cards, like just what's going on.
Yeah.
Somebody finds it every once in a while, like, oh my gosh, I'm so smart. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, hate that card. And then I just wanted to mention one more thing. So that's all. We went through all of those. There's some fun commentary on some of the cards that was spooky and sensible. Spooky things were how much maybe there was on the return of Sylvan Primordial, Primeval Titan, and Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Ew, no, never, you crazy bastards. Nope. Uh-uh. Don't do it. We'll keep it back there. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
No.
From what I gathered today from the live stream is, I feel like he was just throwing us a bone. Us by meaning the free
Yeah,
Emrakul
the
people,
Eldrazi's.
the free Emrakul people, just throwing us a bone and kind of getting our hopes up for something. But I don't see any of those three cards coming back anytime soon.
Please
If
never.
Yeah, I mean, because he basically said, prime time is too broken. It's too good of a card. So
Look,
especially,
if you guys get that back ever, you give me back Brand then, and I will get you.
yeah, yeah. Bring back Gristlebrand and Emrakul. I don't care.
Actually, don't. I'm kidding. It's not a zero sum game. Please leave them all banned. You know. See, there's different types of players. Like I want retribution once I'm abused. So then it's like, all right, Thundering Titan's coming for you. All right. It's like, all right, I'll get you.
I
But
remember
then,
you.
then
I remember you playing Sundering Titan.
I did. I did play a little bit. I like that card. Well, one of our biggest, our most competitive players in our group played 5-color all the time. So it was like, couldn't do anything about it. So I was like, I guess I'm gonna blow up your mana base.
Yeah.
Card did the job. I did not feel very nice doing that, but sometimes you needed something. I do kind of still feel like Iona is supposed to be freed at some point.
Ugh.
I understand why that card's not fun, but it just seems like I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Like I was just saying, monocolor's bad. It's not nice to do that, but I don't know. You don't think so? You think it's too mean?
No. Yeah, it is. I feel like
Too
it.
mean? All
And
right.
like I feel like Emrakul's too mean too. Like I would like the opportunity to play Emrakul just because I feel incomplete when I run my Eldrazi deck and I don't have all the Titans in it. Just that's my OCD. Wanting Emrakul free. But honestly, I would feel bad playing it. So
Yeah. Well, I feel violated every time somebody casts the card. So, and then when I cast it, I felt like a villain too. But you guys have plenty
yeah,
of good options. I mean, I still think I'm surprised Emrakul the Promised End never gets on any of these lists, but apparently that extra turn you get back is enough. I
yeah.
don't run it because I think it's a little too mean, but I would probably it's my type of card in the sense that like it's big, it's beefy, it's like impactful. Like I would probably play it in like 3 decks if I was just trying to do my maximum, but um yeah, I mean they gave you some options. I mean, was it the newest Ulamog is insane too? Like annihilates your life. Like
Yeah.
Annihilator 8 basically. Like
It's
oof.
Annihilator based on how many the mana cost that's exiled with him. I think is what it
Yeah, the
is.
highest mana value. So it's like 8
Yeah.
sometimes. Like oof. Like
Yeah,
if anyone plays that against me, I'm like guaranteed you're getting an 8. I'm about to
no,
die.
I faced that last week. So
Yeah.
I had the original Avacyn, and it was
Oh,
yeah, he exiled it, and so it had he had a
Annihilator 8.
he had a doubling season out too.
Oh,
So
it's counters, right? Oh,
yes, yeah. Luckily,
yeah, that's a rude dude.
I had the answer when
Oh,
it
that's
came
good.
around to my turn. So yeah, or else I was toast. But
Yeah. Oh God.
yeah.
Yeah, that card. I love that. Like they were like, people don't like Annihilator. Here's all the Annihilator. Like,
Do you
come
want
on, bro.
to know what my answer was? It
What?
was Kozilek's command
Oh,
copied.
that's funny. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So you're able. Oh, with Ulalek. So.
No, no, I had
Oh no.
so it's in my deck, my campaign deck, and yeah, so I played
Oh, copied with the
I forget
with
whatever
the crank card. Oh,
whatever the enchantment is that copies the first spell you
okay.
cast each turn, double vision, I think, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so so I was able to blow both of his. He had both Ulamogs, or two Ulamogs on the battlefield, and I was able to get rid
Oh,
of
the
them.
new Ulamog's not indestructible.
Yeah, and
I did not know this.
Kozilek's command exiles. So yeah,
Okay, sick.
yeah,
I did not know that card was indestructible. This one isn't indestructible. Okay,
yeah.
at least it's a little more not gross. Huh. Wow, that's crazy. So you're able to not die. Oh wow. Whew.
I ended up winning the whole game too. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it sounds like surviving Ulamog, Ulamog for your whole battlefield is pretty nice. Like you
yeah.
think I'll lose half my deck, I'll still win. That's so crazy. I did hear a funny comment, referencing the ban list in some of these. One of the people in one of my playgroups went, they're unbanning Sway the Stars, just unban Upheaval then, and I'm like, that's completely different, man. Like it's a completely different card. Like completely, the power level is so different. I just when I heard that, I kind of giggled. I was like, you fundamentally are not comprehending what that card can do. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We don't have to worry about it. Biorhythm was one of the cards I expected that could have been on the unban. I'm glad they didn't. And I
Yeah, me
think
too.
the commentary they didn't say, and I think the biggest thing with this card is the drawing, like people drawing the game with it. Because you can
Oh,
just cast Biorhythm with nothing in play and
yeah,
just end the game.
yeah.
Or you can Kingmake and be like, I don't like this guy, Biorhythm with that guy's thing in play. I
Hmm.
think that's the real problem with Biorhythm, other than the fact that it is a little lame. I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. Because you could just be like, Mutavault or some man land and like Biorhythm and kill everybody after a sweeper or cycle rift or something.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird like wet fart. So yeah, that's my thing. I'm hoping brackets catch a little bit more fire. I want them to stop calling it a beta. I wish it actually wasn't in beta
So
because not to say that they can't revise it, but I want people to just believe in it.
he did talk about after MagicCon Vegas here in a couple months, they're going to look at some of the data and some of the player experiences from there, and not necessarily they don't want to make big changes. They want to get this out and kind of get its feet under it and get it established, and then kind of tweak it here and there. Yeah.
Well,
So
I just think people hearing the word beta are like, it's not official, it's not on.
oh
And I'm
yeah.
not saying everyone's like that. I know some people are still like, I'm waiting. I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting. And
I
I'm like,
mean,
do it.
none of this is official. Like you could play with whatever card you
Well,
want,
yeah,
in your groups. So I don't know.
true,
Uh,
true. I don't know. I feel like once people just accept that it's the way people are playing, then like the more people do it, the more it can be a thing that we're doing. And I want to be a part of that because I'm liking some of the idea of this getting
yeah,
enacted actively. So
yeah, and they're gonna have I think more tools at MagicCon Vegas. Like they'll have tables set up for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, um, and kind of judge stuff that way. And he said they don't want to make big changes. In fact, that as far as bans and unbans, they aren't doing anything for probably till maybe this time next year they'll consider stuff. But
yeah,
right now they're just kind of gathering data. So
good. Well,
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Honestly, I think we're getting some things. At least they put out enough weird commentary so we can all yell at them online. Please go cast your vote by yelling at them online. I say yelling, but I'm just
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? Like, don't you dare! No, please stop. Like,
yeah.
what do you mean you're gonna bring that back?
The amount of people I saw that really expected like Mana Crypt or Dockside to get unbanned and Jewel Lotus, like the amount of people I saw expecting that today, I was just like, what planet are you living on? That's not
I
gonna
know.
happen. So
I mean, like, I thought possibly, but I was not expecting specifically. Like
Yeah, the
I
only
thought it
one.
was like a possibility, but I didn't make it seem likely.
No, I mean I kind of figured that coalition victory. I think because they hinted around to that quite a bit, and
Yeah.
so I I figured that that was a pretty good possibility that was going to happen. But um,
The propaganda for that card's unbanning has been going on for years. So it's just seeped into people's brains finally. So now people can have this middling gameplay with it. I don't know. I'm happy for whoever's really happy to play with a couple of those cards. I mean,
yeah,
being a Gifts and Given nostalgia person, I mean, playing with that card would probably feel pretty good. So, and I mean, again, you could have been playing this the whole time. Remember, there aren't really any rules. I just
yeah,
like it when I whine and complain because I used to play at stores a lot. I haven't in the recent history, but when I was playing at stores, you'd have a lot of different game things, and it's nice when everyone comes to the table and you don't have to be like, you know, like,
yeah,
and maybe that's the wrong way to be at a table, but that's what it feels like. You know, we're there to have a good time, and I don't like it when, because cards are designed or like the formats are managed well, that I have to encounter like very like extremely different game styles. You know, and that's why I really care about it. It's not like I don't care about what other people's fun is. I just care that we can all sit down. Like it used to be when we go play Magic, it's like everyone's about to go have a fun time, and then like even when we played Standard, it was like you could have some of those more stilted things or unbalanced because it's like, well, the format will rotate. The
yeah,
villain's only the villain for a little while, and then you got your heroes. People doing other things, but it always felt fair. Like Standard always felt like a lot of the time it was like running even playing field. Not all the time, but enough of the time that that's what I expect from Magic, and that's what I expect from a format that's managed to be like. I want fairness. I mean, I don't know what some of the other formats are like now. Maybe that's not the case. There's a lot of formats that are crazy, but that was what I got accustomed to in Magic, and that's what I liked. And Commander can do that. I think it's possible,
yeah,
and we're trying to make more people get to those games where they're having consistent experiences. I just want to meet new people who are playing and not have us have a whole sit down about what are you doing,
yeah,
what are you
yeah,
doing. It's like I know where I'm at. So,
yeah.
but are you adopting any of the brackets into any of your gameplay?
Yeah, because I've started doing a lot of streaming and stuff online, and yeah, I mean a lot of other content creators and stuff. We all understand the bracket system, so that's what we use, and so like the deck we put together on our podcast a few weeks back. I put that in a three, so because it does have a couple game changers. By the way, Elspeth is nutso in that deck, so
Nice,
yeah.
yeah. Speaking of which, got myself a pretty Elspeth too.
Yeah, yeah.
Ghostfire foil. Loving it. Glad we added that Elspeth. Did you win your game? Was that the game you won? Or did you win
So
your match
I've
for that?
I've played it twice, and the first game that I played with lasted 10 turns, 8 turns,
Oh,
something like that, and I won. Yeah,
nice.
it went like I
Team
went.
Mardu.
Yeah, I went. It was like I was on curve with everything. I had the siege that doubles your effects when you attack. So I was getting double mobilize. I had Elspeth, so I was getting like double the tokens
Oh,
off the double mobilize, and yeah, it went pretty fast. I won that very very fast. We decided to play another game, and I sat and dirtled the rest of the time. So yeah, I don't know what we need to do to that deck, but it's either you win super fast or you dirtle. So,
yeah, sounds
and
about right.
I've had it
Mardu win.
both ways. So
Cool. I'm glad
yeah,
you had that epic game with Elspeth. That's so cool.
yeah, and
That's
I'm going
that's living the dream.
I'm playing it again. That same deck. I'm gonna play it again on the 28th. So just a few days after this podcast come out, over on Benji the Brewer stream, I'll play that again, and we'll see if I beat ass or dirtle. So.
All right. Are you upgrading anymore, or are we keeping it the same?
So we talked after the game that I did on Benji's stream, and I played it on a couple other streams too. So we decided that we're going to take out Swords to Plowshares and Soul Ring because I'm replacing swords with Path to Exile, just because I had swords and I didn't want people to be gaining life. Like I don't care if they get lands, but I'm trying to get your life total down as much as possible, and swords just doesn't it counteracts that.
Yeah.
Replacing swords with Path and the Soul Ring I don't think is necessary with I mean because the commander is just Mardu colors, 3 Mardu colors,
Yeah.
and so I'm not like ramping into my commander or anything. So I just don't feel like it's necessary. So I'm taking
Okay.
those 2 cards out, switching Path in for swords, and I don't know if I've decided what I'm doing with Soul Ring yet or not. I don't remember. I'll have to look through the deck. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
So a couple upgrade changes, so we'll see how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah,
Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that.
yep.
Yeah. So sick, sick. I'm loving to see. Can't wait to see you on stream. When's your next stream?
The 28th. Yep, the 28th.
28th. 28th. All right.
Monday night. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know what time, but
Okay. Well,
Monday.
cool. I'm looking forward to that,
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah, Monday night. So, and you can go back if you want and look at, go to Benji the Brewer's Twitch channel, and you can look at the um, video on demand of our
Oh,
games. I played it on Trying Casually stream. I played it on their stream last Friday. So
mhm.
yeah, and then I feel like I played it another time, but I don't remember. So those are the two for sure that you can go see. I did record some of the gameplay. I might put it on the screen here of my board state. It was pretty nuts though.
Heck
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's how we do it. Flying
but
death tokens. Yeah, I expect this Elspeth to be big money.
yeah, yeah,
Big
it's
money.
it's so good. It's so good. It's a kill on site card, man.
Yeah.
So
You do it or you die.
yep, yep.
We got our cool versions. You busted yours from a box. I had to buy it off my friend who opened his box. I was like, $90. That's a deal right there.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll take that right off your hands. So cool.
All right.
Well,
Is that it for today? We're
yeah,
gonna.
that's it for today, Josh.
All right, we can take our tinfoil hats off now and go back to normal life.
Yep.
So
Oh man, the electricity is different.
uh, don't forget to like, shower, and subscribe, guys, and we will see you next time with or without tinfoil hats. We'll see.
All right, later.